and we've arrived in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. In today's video, I'm going to show you why you need to get to know this place that almost nobody talks about. I'm referring to one of the 15 former Soviet republics that's been revising its history through tourism, a diversified economy, new constructions, and of course, travelers. Through you, who will learn more about this country, share it, and maybe even come here one day. Welcome to Georgia. In this video, I'll tell you interesting facts about Georgia, what to do, where to stay, the best regions, and of course, the foods you can't miss. And the prices too, right? I like to leave home with everything planned, and in this video, I'll show you how. Maybe you can't even imagine how to get here to Georgia, but the good news is that there are several flights with just one connection leaving Brazil to this country. The best mileage redemptions today are for you to fly with Qatar Airways, Emirates, or Turkish Airlines. I paid 82,500 miles for Qatar. In business class, yes, I came here in luxury business class, paying about 5,000 reais. Because I bought those 82,000 miles at the mileage counter, which today costs about 55 reais for every 1,000 miles. Besides that, there are good fares for you to fly with Emirates, booking through partner programs, and with Turkish as well. Look guys, just so you understand, the subway, there's a red line, this other green one here, 2 lines, it's small, but it covers everything. Look, there are a lot of cute stray dogs here. It doesn't even seem scary. Hey, calm down. Hey, buddy, remember, I have Popo at home. You'll be friends with Popo. Guys, I would easily take this dog home. Is this dog crazy? Do you think security would have a problem if I took him with me on a leash in Guarulhos? I don't think so, right? They won't even notice, and if you look at his ear, he has a tag. See the dogs here? They have 3 types of tags. There's the orange tag, the red tag, and the yellow tag. Each one indicates the level of comfort. The dog's reliability. It doesn't mean the dog will bite you if he has. I think it's the red tag, which is the most dangerous. But it just means he's not that gentle or friendly. If I'm right, the yellow tag is the best. You can see it on the Georgia app or website. I thought it was cool. Now we're entering a tunnel. Oh, I love these places here, guys. I swear. Estevam, you little communist. No, my son, breathe. I didn't say that. I didn't say I love this place. People often get confused. They ask, Estevam, if you visit the United States, does that mean you support its president? If you go elsewhere, do you support their leaders too? It means I want to travel, guys. That's what it means. I want to see the world. Seriously? People have to label everything. Bam, bam. I'm saying this because people on Instagram are already labeling. I said I'm going to Georgia, which was part of the former Soviet Union. Then people mention revolution. What's that about? I just want to see the world and experience things. Hey, you cutie, look at this one, guys. I can't handle it. So I was looking at this here. Hi, baby. His is yellow, too. Look how cute. They're microchipped and cared for. That's it. Victor, say hi here. Victor, guys. Victor, he is none other than... Where are you from, Victor? From Yakutia, the coldest place in the world. Have you seen those videos on YouTube where people get 70, 72 degrees? Man, how did you live that life? Did you go to school? That's life, right? You have to go. But in Sao Paulo, when it's 8 degrees, people already want to cancel class. We already think, no, 8 degrees, there's no way. No, there's no way. Victor is also from Red Star, right? That company that's organizing everything for us here. And he was saying that here the dogs get bathed, vaccinated, they're well taken care of, right, Victor? The dogs get all the care, they're marked, there's a brand, a microchip, right? This church, I found it beautiful, and remember that today 87% of the population is Christian, Estevam, which means that 87% of people go to church. For example, in Brazil, I think 90% of people are straight, but many are not practicing. Did you get it? I'm telling you this so you remember that statistics don't always reflect reality. Many young people claim to be Christians, but do they really attend church? I was talking to someone yesterday also from Georgia, and she was saying, wow, the last time I went to church was at my niece's baptism. But are you a Christian? I'm a Christian, but you don't even know where the nearest church is, you know? So that's my point. You have to keep an eye on that. In Azerbaijan, about 97% of people are Muslim, but most aren't practicing and don't pray 5 times a day like in other Islamic countries. That doesn't mean someone's faith is greater or less than someone else's, okay? Just to be clear, this is a sociocultural fact I'm sharing with you. Period. Estevam is saying that people, look, I didn't even say anything. I just shared a fact here. It's recorded. You can look it up if you want. All right. I'm exhausted. Okay. I'm exhausted by all this activism from people. You say one thing and you say one thing and that's it. Let's move on. The women here, they wear a veil on their heads to go to church, always. I didn't know that, but they always do, right? Out of respect. They cover their heads, even if you come here. Even though they're Christians, they are Christians. But it's Georgian Orthodox Christianity, so it's not the same as in Russia. It's a different kind of Orthodox Christian. It's not like Brazilian Catholic Christianity, since not everyone in Brazil is Catholic. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, it's not like an evangelical, it's not Jehovah's Witness, that's not it. We're talking about another spectrum of Christianity, another branch of Christianity, especially since this is the second Christian country on the planet. Cute, guys. Wow. I want to see your microchip color to know if I can touch it. It's always on the right side. And in the squares of the capital, Tbilisi in Georgia, we still see a lot of history alive. It feels like everything happened yesterday. Some things are erased, but much remains. The square is beautiful. Someone's even bathing there. I'll get closer so you can see. Behind me. Here we have a writer who was Hungarian and died in 1906. He was very important during the time of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Look over there. Look over there. A child enjoying their summer. I'm not judging. Younger me with no consequences would have gone in that fountain too, so is that really wrong? It's 40 degrees in the shade here today. That's crazy. Look at this fountain. Oh, that's cool. He's going to fall in there. That's how you activate your travel insurance. Remember, if you haven't gotten travel insurance, you need to get it, okay? To get your travel insurance, just click on the description of this video. I have a discount coupon for you to get your travel insurance. Whether it's a trip to Georgia, Paris, Orlando, or Manaus, it doesn't matter if it's in Brazil or outside Brazil. I never recommend that you travel without travel insurance. I've been through a lot, okay? Recently, I was even in Greece, guys, and I had something happen to my back, like a really bad cramp. If it weren't for travel insurance, I would have been in trouble paying for a hospital in euros. No way, right? Get your travel insurance from the video description, where you'll also find discounted links for insurance and SIM cards. These are the same products I've used for years on my trips. Besides getting a great discount from our partner, you also support the people who support us, so we all support each other and can keep making this content even better. I always aim to bring you benefits and partners. We're still in Tbilisi, Georgia's beautiful capital. Just look at this place. It's truly stunning. Look, here's another stone panel. I'm going to find out what's written here. Rodrigo is explaining it to my son. This one is well taken care of. Look at these watches, the medals, and look at this one, Che's watch. Guevara really wants to go to Cuba. I'll still show you Cuba, you know. Take a breath, guys. So many things. Look at this little fish here. This fish is very Soviet. They love to put liquor in the bigger fish and serve it in these little cups. Here, look, served. Here, it's all about culture, my son. All kinds of culture, alcoholic culture, non-alcoholic culture, vegan culture, celiac culture. Bring it on. We work to pack and unpack all this. Every day, I keep thinking it was my move, my move. When I moved houses, I did the move with the JBLK crew. I'll even share their Instagram because I love their service. They unpacked everything so well. The first time I moved alone, I did it all myself. Hired a truck, wrapped everything. I'll never do that again. JBLK was great. They saved me without breaking or scratching anything, and their service was excellent. I still recommend them. This isn't an ad, but I wouldn't mind a JBLK sponsorship. Oh, fight. He got mad because he filmed and didn't buy. He's angry. Why is he angry over there, Rodrigo? Filming, saying you can't film. Who can't film? You're on the street. If you don't want to be filmed, stay at home. People tried to take a picture and he got upset. Seriously, isn't that too much? If you don't want to be filmed, just stay home. The person comes to a square to sell his book, to sell his dishes, where most buyers are tourists. Seriously, he's doing some kind of therapy, guys. Even the guy got scared. Even the seller gets scared by what he sells. Right there. Look how beautiful the Georgian flag dish is, like I explained to you. They use the same cross that England uses, and here they have 4 small crosses. And I want to know what you think of Georgia. What do you think of this place? When you heard Georgia, did you think of the United States state or already know about the country? Comment below. For me, this market is massive. You could make a whole video just on it. Yeah, we could, we won't, but we could, right? There's everything here. The stuff here looks like gold, a bunch of things. Another area of the market too. This is already a more permanent area. See, people have their stalls. They're almost like little shops here. This vase here is beautiful, huh? I'd take it, but if you set it up stylishly in the living room, it would look amazing. Hugo approves. Hugo, check this out. I'm taking this to Brazil, but if I could, I'd take this one too. It's beautiful for the elevator hall. I like it. I'm going to choose and take one. The 2 travelers who comment the most will get this. I'll buy 2 coins here for you. Classic coins used in the Soviet Union. Who has this? Only you. Whoever interacts most with this video will win. I made a great gift and will send it to the top 2 participants. Comment and share this video for a chance to win after 15 days. I choose whoever shared the most, whoever engaged the most, and I send it to their house. I ask for the address here and send it to their house. Now, I want to tell you about Estevam the cuckold. What do you mean the cuckold? Pay attention because Rodrigo is going to explain about the cuckold.
This is the horn used in Georgian banquets, the supra. Don't think they're going to fill these little horns with wine to make a toast. No, these small ones. It's for their distilled drink, which is a kind of grappa, 40%. They fill it up to the big mouth. That's for wine. It's also filled up to the mouth. And the idea is that you can't put it on the table, so you have to drink it all the way. You drink it in one go and then show that you finished it.
These people are healthy, huh? These people are healthy, you see, man. How big is this? Here? There must be about 2 or 3 glasses in there. We'll get that chance. Ah, I want it just for the experience, just for the culture, travelers. Not that I like wine, not at all. Look over there, another underground passage full of little shops. This lady here is very Georgian in her shop, and this other one here too. Ah, this here is very famous. Look, this big sausage here looks like plastic, but it's actually sweet. I'll try one of these in the video, just wait a bit. They really love little shops in the passageways that sell everything. The product mix in these stores is intense. It's a mix of products that makes you ask, what does your store sell? It's full of everything. And there are people who buy. Do you think there aren't people who buy? Marcia already bought something. Look, a back scratcher. How much was that, Marcia? 20 reais? The back scratcher helped the Georgian economy 20 reais. You're going to use it a lot, right, Marcia? Oh, a lot. You're going to forget about it in 2 days. Scratching your own back, total independence. That's it, guys. Fashion. I really like to see the fashion in the local shop windows too. It really reflects, right? The lifestyle, what people wear, what they dress in. A machine appeared here with small animals and it's still working. We only passed through because we plan to cross over there. This is beautiful. They really like images. They have this thing with images with a lot of gold even on the images. We're out. Old city, old school vibe, and the old city, guys, all walled in. We're talking about old Tbilisi, the old Tbilisi. Today, there's not much left. They built houses and stuff up here. And here, look, we see a lot of street art, communist monuments, communist murals that are still around, that still exist here. Look over there, that church in the background was really beautiful. This mural is also interesting. The idea when they made it was like a project, bringing light to everyone. There was Promatusa here bringing light to the peasants. The idea was to bring light to the people. And the curious thing is that after the Soviet Union ended, Georgia, even in the capital, ended up spending 12 years without electricity. Many city areas, the capital, and especially small villages went years without electricity. I was talking to a Georgian guy my age yesterday and he said, wow, Estevam, that was my childhood. I was born right after the Soviet period ended. You know, he's from 91. And as soon as the Soviet period ended, he remembers that in his childhood there was no electricity. Sometimes he only had 4 or 6 hours of power a day to use. Look, what's left here of the city walls? Just try not to turn at noon. Like I'm doing, if you visit in summer, like now in July or August, you should come later, at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, because noon is a tough time, it's hard, and lunchtime will be right here. Look, in this restaurant here, let's see. Wow, they have Georgian food here. Mom, I love you. If you were here, would you take a picture of the flowers where I'm sitting? I miss you, Mom. Always thinking of you. Mom, this is Tbilisi. Hey, there's art everywhere. Want to know something interesting? You'll notice we're in Tbilisi, right, which is Christian, but in Azerbaijan, which is Islamic, women don't wear burqas. This happens because of the Soviet Union. So, when countries like Azerbaijan and other Islamic countries joined the Soviet Union itself banned their customs. Let's say their more intense customs. Women were not allowed to fully cover themselves or wear burqas. That's why you don't see it in Azerbaijan or Kyrgyzstan. Women walk around freely due to the Soviet Union. And now we've arrived at it, Renzo's famous clock. This is a must-see stop at noon and 7 p.m. It puts on a show, a little performance, so if you have time, come watch it. It's really cool. This place here is beautiful, really stylish, full of character. I'm going to buy the ticket because I want to go to Renzo's theater. You buy it from this lovely lady here. She's smiling from ear to ear. Look, I bought it. It was 70 dinars, which is about 140 reais. But there's no way we can't go, right? Renzo's theater in Georgia, which is the clock theater we just visited. Look at what he did, what happened. Did you see this here? What happened in 2025? Celebrities are spotted in Tbilisi. Look at this, really cool people. The guy did this super quickly. We saw it while I was vlogging there, while I was filming. Yeah, people are investing in tourism. I thought it was great. He gave it to me without asking for anything. I tipped him, but he didn't charge. What church is this with such kind people? Hot, Victor, it's so hot. How do you say it's so hot in Russia? The guy over there says, I thought you were going to say it's not hot there, it's only cold. How hot does it get in your city? In the summer, 35, 35? Positive, but in winter it's 70. Are you crazy? I only want to visit in summer when there's lots of daylight. Let's keep walking here. The streets of Tbilisi are a mix of old and a cool hipster vibe. It's really nice. They have wine ice cream. I've never seen wine or pomegranate ice cream before. Never seen pomegranate or anything different like that. Look, 5 Georgian lari, about 10 rays. Let me try this here. Can I have an ice cream, please? Wine ice cream, please? Yes, I have to try the wine ice cream. No. You. Look, boy, what does it look like? It looks like a strawberry. The smell is really like wine, my son. Hold on, I'm not sure what I'm going to say yet, boy. Keep the vanilla, the chocolate, the stracciatella. I think Jorge is better with liquid wine than wine with ice cream. Mrs. Jorge, let's leave the ice cream to the Italians. It works better. No, wine ice cream didn't work out. Banjulim is playing. Banjulim is in Brasilia, right? Banjulim is in Brazil and is famous. Rodrigo from Estrela Vermelha says Ratchapuri is better at Itibrisa. He's been here 11 times, so I trust him more than myself. Have a little pomegranate juice here, see if it brings money, if it brings health. They say pomegranate is good. They say it's good for you, this, right? It's healthy, it's for the immune system, for immunity, yeah. Immunity is great. Stay strong and healthy, everyone, especially travelers, since we don't want to use our travel insurance. There's a link in this video's description to get your own travel insurance. Super happy. Really tasty, but wait for the knife. 50 rays, 25 there. Look, the bridge is beautiful, but nobody shows the surroundings here. A bunch of construction fences, something really old here. And maybe that's the controversial reason why a lot of people don't like it. Because when they built it here in 2010, some people thought, hey, they thought it was really wrong, but the president at the time said, I think it's cool. He invested about $7.5 million to build the bridge in 2010. It gets lit up an hour and a half before sunset and an hour and a half after sunrise. I think it's cool, I like it. Some people call it always like a pad because it looks like a pad. I'll post an aerial photo for you. Does it look like what you expected? Let me know your thoughts. Here for me, let's cross this bridge. Come on. Wow, I think it's beautiful, really cool, modern, trendy, vegan, chic. Look, this is the really old part, and here's the river. Over there is the cable car, another hill. Wow, look at this cool place here. Hello, it's tight. Hello, thank you. Wow, it's really beautiful here next to the bridge. There's a little shop with bars and cafes. Really nice heading out that way to that side now. When you come here to Georgia, there are people who only visit Tbilisi. I recommend that you stay at least a week and also go to the countryside. Georgia is not a very big country. It's a small country, both in territory and in population. About 3.5 million people live here today, and the whole country is about the size of Ceara, so it's really small, guys. Tbilisi is the perfect mix of Istanbul and Berlin. That's it. I think that's it. Istanbul and Berlin compacted. Take Istanbul, mix it with Berlin, put it in this cup, shake it, shake it, shake it, and you'll get Tbilisi. It's different. You can't even say it looks like a certain place. It's a mix of places and money. How does money work here in Georgia? Their currency is the lari, and the abbreviation is Georgian lari, GEL, gel, just like a gel. To know how much it's worth in reais, you multiply by 2, that'll give you pretty much the exact exchange rate. So if it costs 10 Georgian lari, it'll be 20 reais. Or to know in euros, you divide by 3. I'm going to exchange some money now. I've been paying for everything with a card, but there are some places on the street that don't accept cards. So I want to pay in cash. So I'm going to exchange about $50 or $100. Let's see, here's the exchange rate. The rate is 2.70, but sometimes with the dollar, right? Since I brought dollars, sometimes there's a little fee they charge as commission. Let's see. And this area here is everything. That's the cafe I went to yesterday, that one over there, the old cafe. Don't worry, exchange offices are everywhere. Look, there's one here, another over there, plenty of places to exchange money. Look at the money here. 10 lari, 20 lari, 100 lari, 5 lari, the coins. We found coins of 2, 150, 2, 0, 1, 0, and 5. These are the coins I got here. The bills are nice, right? I'll show you the back so you can see the 100's reverse side. These bills are beautiful. I love seeing different money. It's really cool. It was $50 and some Turkish lira that I had in my pocket, some change, and we came here. Look, for this area here in Tbilisi, I would easily set aside a day or two just to wander around the historic center of Tbilisi. For me, it's such a delightful place. But take your time, sit down, have a coffee, eat something, enjoy the cuisine, have some good wine. Here, wine is sometimes cheaper than juice. It's crazy, but it's true, okay? So enjoy it as you go. Look at this view. It's so beautiful. Oh, the little dog. Another little dog here. Let's see if he has the chip. Here's the yellow one. The yellow one here is a good boy. All good. This little dog here is another one with a chip. They missed trimming here. I think it's supposed to say, I love Tbilisi, but it's hard to see, right? I thought the city isn't one of the best maintained. Like, it has much more tourist potential than is being used. Wow, the city could be much better taken care of. It's nice, it's pleasant, you know, there's a nostalgia for the old, but there are some areas that are kind of dirty, kind of poorly maintained, but I'm loving it. It's really beautiful. Now we're going here, look to the bazaar. Let's go down here, this little entrance. Don't miss it. Okay, when you come here, go down this little area and come to the historic bazaar. Look to do your shopping now. What a cool place, guys. What a cool place, for God's sake. Look at this. Buying some wine. Look at this. So much wine they have here. Look at the ceiling over there. Look at the ceiling. You have to look everywhere. There are so many visual details here. Look, there's the sweet I told you about, churuti hela. It's here too, a grape jelly, really cool. There's green grape, the most traditional one, which is this one. There's pomegranate with macadamia. It's a party. This place is right in the old market square because this used to be the main market in Tbilisi. So this market, this was the market where the locals ran their economy, where they did things. Today, it has become a much more touristy place, still very important for the local population. So what's up? You can't visit Tbilisi without riding the cable car. We're heading up to Mother Yoria now. There are two cable cars, one to Mother Yoria and another to a different hill. If you pick just one, choose this one. It costs R2.50, so R5 for a round trip, and the ride up is really quick as you go up. We get a really nice view of the city panorama, the old city, the modern features, a 360-degree view, really, really complete. And there we are arriving. The glass is filthy, right? Filthy, focused. This glass is filthy, guys. It's something else for sure. Let's go. We arrived. Mother Georgia. The Soviets love this. I like the mother figure. You know, having a mother, Mother Georgia, Mother Armenia. I love a mother. There's an accordion player here and the beautiful view of Tbilisi. Bye. This here. I don't encourage animal tourism at all. I'm out. You know, Tavito doesn't support that. Here, we can clearly see the bridge we went to, the Bridge of Peace, the place that was supposed to be a conservatory. Over there, the new Congress, that other building too, which is quite famous. Very modern buildings, but most of the buildings you can see they're quite old, right? It's a very horizontal city, very flat. There are hardly any skyscrapers or really tall buildings. Georgia's mother is in front. From here you can't see, but from the front you'll notice she's holding two items. A sword to defend Georgia from enemies and also a chalice, a bowl of wine to welcome friends and well-intentioned visitors. Here's the best view of George's mother. I don't think so, but you need to go up to see her closely. Visiting the Statue of Liberty in New York doesn't offer the best view, but it's cool to get up close and experience it. I actually thought it would be bigger. We have a botanical garden here. See how peaceful and beautiful it is. And over there, next to the botanical garden, is the house of the biggest millionaire here, billionaire in Georgia. He once had 80% of the country's gross domestic product. A single person, that's his house over there. Look, they even built a highway just to make his house. The guy is powerful, really powerful. Leave his name here because I don't know how to say it. Not this guy here. What was that, guys? A sneeze? The Chinese woman sneezed. Oh, Jesus. Did you hear that, my friend? She screamed. It sounded like she got shot. I'll check the app story tomorrow. I'm with the Red Star people and they tell me everything in my ear. Let's go for it. Come on, let's climb it. We can climb. We came all the way here. It wasn't for nothing. We can't climb. No, that's it. It's a shortcut. You come out the other side. That's how it is here. But the view is beautiful. Look, what a beauty. About safety, Georgia is one of the safest countries in the world for tourists, both in terms of attacks and robberies. No one is going to come here and rob you at gunpoint. However, keep an eye out, especially for kids, that kind of gypsy style, because if you let your guard down, they'll come by. Just now, look, I sat here, started messing with my phone, and put my camera next to me. 3 boys gathered there and set up the scene nearby. I stayed alert, but it's very safe here. As long as you stay cautious, nothing should happen. Now we're arriving at the baths. Here in Tbilisi, the word Tibli means hot, and that's totally related to the founding of the city. Because they say, when a king was hunting around here with his pheasant, the pheasant got into a fight with another animal and died burned in the baths. That's how hot it was here. So they say the king was so shocked, so surprised by this, that he decided to build a city here around these baths. Then in the 6th century, the city of Tbilisi emerged, which would become the capital of Georgia. But Georgia is barely even 35 years old, right? Still, the country has always had Tbilisi as a major reference point. We have to remember that Georgia, before the Soviet Union, also belonged to the Russian Empire. After that, they were independent for about 3 years until they joined the Soviet Union, and after '91, they became the Georgia we know today. And look, there are people who swim right here. Look at the people bathing down here, guys. The smell, get ready for it, because this is that sulfuric water, you know? They say it's good for your skin, but the smell isn't good for your nose. I'm just letting you know in advance. Look at this. What a beautiful place we're going to enjoy here. A sulfur bath, a sauna, a massage, some relaxation. If I can't film, see you in a bit. If I can, I'll show you more soon. We're in. She arrives with a little towel at lunch, so we follow her. We got a room just for us. Look at how beautiful this place is. Look at this. They're going to turn on the hot bath now. We're going to stay here. We reserved it for 2 hours. Estevam, how much does this cost? How much does this cost, Rodrigo? 200, everyone. 200 per hour. It's 200. My son, here you ask for what you want. They have mine with food and drinks. We ordered here, look, a drink to have. They just brought it. You call on that phone over there. Look, you pick it up, say what you want to order. How many rays does a champagne cost? Here. Yes, 70 rays, guys. You can't even buy a champagne for 70 rays at the market in Brazil. You really would be what? Could it be? And I also took the opportunity to try the famous Turkish bath, or maybe it's a Georgian bath. Look at me here, man. It was good. It was good. I relaxed. Say you didn't die, man. And it was wonderful. It was amazing. It was really good. This time of day is when I like the most to walk around the city. You know, that late afternoon, now around 6 p.m., 7 p.m., more or less. Here in the summer, it gets dark really late, so there will be nice light until about 9 p.m., 8:49 p.m. TADIA, look at this vibe, guys. Yeah, Mrs. Gorge, I'm starting to like you. They say that with this light, we look even more beautiful. Tbilisi looks amazing. Look, the mother of the city, the mother of Georgia, the country, the neighborhood that was founded by Armenians. Isn't it a beautiful thing? Isn't it lovely? We're going to eat now. According to Rodrigo, it's the best chicken here in Georgia. In the world, he really stands by it, right? Look, my son, let me tell you, let's see if it's really that much. Ah, I said I was going to show you travelers the best here. They say this one is the best. Unfortunately, I can't eat gluten because of my pain. It's an illness I've mentioned to you several times, but the best is here. Look, good prices, everything is cheap, and there are several options for you to try the famous kachapuri from here. Man, this little door here right in front of the cafe we went to yesterday, right up front, it's good. The chicken restaurant was closed, so I decided it was time for me to try another amazing restaurant. A lot of you recommended it to me on Instagram in my DMs, but not everything is perfect. But to my disappointment, I couldn't have dinner here today. After all, they had a dress code that required you to wear pants, and I was wearing shorts. Well, no problem. Life goes on. I'll find something else to eat here, and tomorrow I'll take you to another super Soviet city that's nearby. And on the outskirts of Tbilisi, there's a surreal monument built in 1985. This one here, Chronicles of Georgia. It celebrates 2,000 years of Christianity in Georgia and 3,000 years of Georgia as a state. I'm going there so we can check out this thing, which is not normal. There are 16 columns from 30 to 35 meters tall. They say that when the Soviet Union ended, the monument hadn't been finished because the funding ran out. So they only finished building this here recently, but most of it was built in 85 during the Soviet Union. This is surreal monumental. And we can see some lines, right? At the top, there are some kings, then further down, some Christian figures. This is truly a unique work of art. It's about half an hour from downtown Tbilisi by car to get here. I have to say I loved it. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. And right here in front, look at this. We have the Tbilisi Sea. Look how beautiful this sea is, my son. Is there more? What is a sea? It's not the sea, clearly. It's not the sea, right? Tbilisi may not have a sea, but the reservoir or lake is beautiful. Just 40 minutes from Georgia's capital, we reach this city. Hey, have you ever heard of Rustav? We're just arriving now at the Rustav metallurgical factory. This city has a great history because it was one of the few kept in Stalin's style, Stalinist, which was the name of the style he himself created, mixing various architectural works, various architectural styles, creating his own style. Even after the end of the Soviet Union, this metallurgy factory is still operating. It's one of the few that survived. In front, we see a statue with three workers, showing prosperity, showing unity, showing the strength of the Soviet Union era, which no longer exists today. You can see here the illustration. This is where I am now, and back here. It was an entire city, so it was really a huge metallurgical plant they built. The factory is very beautiful, and today we can still see it there as well. The European Union flag always shining here. But even though it's still operating today, we can see that the place isn't very well maintained. It's a passageway, a parking lot. People still use this area. The city was very prosperous until the 13th century. Then, in the 13th century, it was invaded by Mongols. The Mongols destroyed everything, and during the Soviet Union era, they started to rebuild. It was a city that prospered. It was rebuilt many times, then focused on industry, on the prosperity of the Soviet Union. We see many memories, many legacies from that time. This panel here is one of those legacies that wasn't destroyed. We can see there an investment in nuclear propaganda. They really like to promote that the nuclear industry, aeronautics, and so on, that this was the future. So we see this in many images as well. A computer there, a person with some chemical thing, workers there. In the corner, Up there, we can also see many references to the Soviet era. This original building here is still preserved today. We're talking about a building that's about 90 years old. Soon it will have its centenary. I think it's one of the main places people come to see here in Gustav, in this city. The city isn't small, it's a big city. For Georgia, I think it's the fourth or fifth largest city today. But at the beginning of the century, I think the 21st century, it started losing a lot of residents because there was a lot of poverty, a lot of things going bankrupt. About 10 years ago, it began to prosper again. Besides this metallurgical plant, other factories and other things started to happen, started to exist, and boosted the economy even more. So, the population had dropped from 130 to 100,000 people, and now it's reaching about 125,000 people. So, people have been coming back here to Gustav. Also, it's right next to Tbilisi, a city very close to Tbilisi, so access is very easy. Now I'm arriving here at the central square of the city, and we can clearly see the Stalinist architecture. Just look at this. Here, in several cities of the Soviet Union, we see twin towers. He loved to do this, to put them like a gateway, in the central squares or near the main entrances of the city. These were like twin towers, two similar little towers. This here is the city hall, still in the Soviet style, and the square. I found it very beautiful, very spacious, clean. The city is really, really nice. I'm really enjoying this city. A pleasant surprise. You can take a day trip from Tbilisi, a day to get to know this place. I'm here with the Red Star group. This is part of the official tour they do. Look over there. There's also some beautiful art in front of the city hall. A lot of nature. Just listen to the cicadas singing here. Wow, by the way, there are a lot of cicadas here in Georgia. On this trip, my son, I discovered there's a place in this country where people really know how to reproduce. I really like parks. Also in the Soviet Union, the parks are just like this. You see, they're not dense forests. They're forests very close to open spaces. We see this in other countries here too, here in the Caucasus, also in the region of Russia. When I went, I remember well, this is the city theater, very well preserved. And here we also see an example of Easter. Houses that were built mainly after the First World War already have a very different style from Georgian houses because they were built by European prisoners of war. After the war, the Europeans were imprisoned here and began building these houses. Indeed, it has a much more European style there. If you look at the balconies, the beams, this area where I'm walking through is a residential neighborhood. I think the main highlight is the nature, the greenery. So we see a lot of urbanization here in Rustavi, but there's still a lot of preservation of the green, of nature itself, we know, living in the city center. Look at the grapevine over there, after all. They love grapes. They love wine here. Look at all those grapes. In the middle of the street, a grapevine in the middle of the street. Now I'm going to go in here and show you this place. This one, the place I'm entering now, is the Rostava City Museum. There's a guide who's going to welcome us, the local guide. I don't think that's a bad thing because it will really encourage tourism. Even though I have a translator and historian with me throughout this trip, by my side from the Red Star, Rodrigo, who I told you about, he's been with us here during the whole trip. Rodrigo is a historian. He's responsible for the Red Star. He also speaks fluent Russian, so we're really in good hands, But still, hey, say hi to the travelers. Rodrigo, hold on. Rodrigo is quiet, but he's not really shy. It's just on camera, and thanks to him, we're managing really well. People in these countries rarely speak English. This is the Rustav Archaeological Museum. First thing, I'm loving it. Look at this. I wanted to see it up close. I'm sweating in this 40-degree heat, but the Archaeological Museum blasts the air conditioning to protect artifacts. That's true everywhere. Archaeological museums always have strong air conditioning. And here we really see the history, since this is an ancient city, right? Rustavi existed long before the Soviet Union. Thousands of years ago, people already lived here. We can see Georgia was once larger. This area, for example, is now Armenia. Every country in this region is often in conflict. So at least one won't claim its territory was larger or more prosperous. But didn't they often share the same territory? So here we see elements that prove the Byzantines came here, that they were a very advanced society, especially because of their architecture and the ceramics they made. This museum is interesting for you to really understand this, which is a painting illustrating the Mongol invasion I mentioned to you in the 13th century. They even forced people to convert. People, if they didn't convert, look, death penalty, crazy guys, they went through some really wild stuff. Look, they even had plumbing in the Middle Ages. Back then, that's pretty impressive, right? So you can see how powerful this place was. They exported to a bunch of countries. Here, Gustav was a major industrial powerhouse of the Soviet Union. There were even Brazilians here who interned at Gustav's metallurgical plant, actually arriving before Brazil itself. He was already here with gigantic industries, Brazil, South America. It was years later that it started specializing in steel production and the metallurgical industry, right? It took a few years, but it's really interesting for us to understand the potential this city had and still has today. Let's keep going here, getting to know and exploring it a bit here in Tbilisi. After 10 minutes of leaving the city, you don't see any more buildings. It's a very drastic change, and we can see that this is largely due to the effects of the former Soviet Union here in the region. Because until the 1990s, they used to build these little buildings which would have at most 5 floors. These were the famous Soviet 2-bedroom apartments that were distributed to the population. And we can see that, except for the capital, most of the countryside has pretty much only these buildings. And of course, some other constructions, but they predominate in the region. And speaking of construction, I want to take the opportunity to give you a hotel tip if you come here to Georgia. This is the Estevam Hotel, which used to be a printing house and today has become one of the main luxury hotels in the Georgian capital. This hotel is worth stopping by, even just to see it. It's called Estevam Hotel. It used to be an old printing house, and they even kept some of the printing equipment, like where you press the paper and everything. I'm loving it, you know? The activity is really cool, and outside there's a cafe, a restaurant. People come here to work. There's a co-working space over there. What a nice area, really good. I love the Estevam. Wow, this place is amazing, incredible, such a delightful place. Guys, the cat is here. Look, he doesn't care. People have to come in, but he's just living his life. Having some ice cream here. Tell me, what's your best ice cream, huh? The best ice cream in Tbilisi. Let's try it. I've never tried this before. Look, strawberry ice cream, tarragon, and eucalyptus ice cream with honey. It's delicious, guys. Really good. Very different flavors. This plus a coffee costs 35 Rs, and after this little ice cream, I'm heading to the factory now. A place that, if you think this looks hipster and has a Berlin vibe, you haven't seen the factory yet. Hey, I'm here, my son is here. Look, Tesla, Uber, or Tesla, cool, right? Order an electric Uber, the electric Bolt costs about $1 more, and you might see a Tesla. I arrived at the factory. This place here is an old sewing factory, that's why, a factory from the 1930s. So this factory was abandoned and turned into a cultural center with cafes. There's a really famous hostel here too, a hostel, a factory, and of course several restaurants. Walls for photos, lots of graffiti, lots of art, very hipster. There are going to be a lot of hipsters that we like. What are we? Look over there, look how beautiful this side is too. And Fabrica is the name given today to this complex, right? Not just the factory itself, but this whole complex here, this area. It was about a 10-minute Uber ride from where I was, from Vac, which is this other neighborhood that's getting really cool, kind of like the Pinheiros here, you know, all close together. Let's explore Fabrica here. Look at this vibe, guys. I'm loving it, really loving this place. And here is also a place where you can have an overpriced drink like this one, 60 rays, guys. Oh my God, wow, but it's really good. What do you think of Tbilisi, Georgia? Are you enjoying it? How do you feel about the Caucasus? Share your thoughts here. I want to know. I'm moving on as my journey in Georgia continues. And one of the coolest and most enjoyable neighborhoods here is Vape. This neighborhood has a restaurant with a wine menu that Napoleon left behind, and I'm going to check out this place now. Look how nice. The streets here are kind of hipster now. Here's a flower market. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And here's a Brazilian. This wine cellar has existed since 1993. When Napoleon lost the war with the Russians, all the wine collection he had, because yes, Napoleon traveled and invaded full of wines. He took a lot of things with him, then the Russians sent them here, and his wine collection is still here to this day. And then Look, it was the biggest wine cellar in the Soviet Union. Look how cool, the sacred wine collection protecting the government of Georgia. This is Napoleon's collection, and among them there's a cognac brought by Napoleon. Look, there's a glass, look at this, there's like a glass here, I think it might even be bulletproof. Here it's glass, I don't know, a really big, really thick glass. And the wine's back there, 34,000 bottles from 60 different wine laws. Look at the dust, man, look at the dust, there you go. Here they have the Menateca, a little wine shop, and here's the wine store. You can do tastings, they sell wines too. Wow, it's a really beautiful place. You just come in and taste. Cheers. Cheers, huh? Isn't it really delicious? And it's cheap. We ordered a little platter here with cold cuts, cheeses, and meats, and the guys are going to eat the fruits. And remember, I said I was coming. Well, I came here to Rizzo, Theater Rizzo. Let's see if this puppet show is worth it. I'm in the front row and the show's about to start. Since filming isn't allowed, I'll share some images instead. They're back. Look, the 6 people in black who put on the show are over there. Guys, I didn't break an egg in my next one. Look, I've always defended eggs, right? I want the best snack. It broke for the first time in my life. It happened. Theater is interesting. Grade 3, an hour and a half of it is in Georgian, right? So do you understand? According to the subtitles, I think the ticket was 160 rays, 150 rays. It was worth it. It was worth it. Yeah, wow, the dream of my life. No, right? I would spend that money on a musical, but what musical costs 150 rays? None. You're really right. I'll go see the theater then. And if you're wondering who these excited people are, this is my travel group through the Caucasus, where I'm getting to know Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Armenia with really cool groups from Estrela Vermelha Viagens. They are a company specialized in countries of the former Soviet Union, and it's really nice to be able to travel with company all the time, with a historian who not only understands the place, but also speaks Russian fluently, and helps me learn everything so I can share it with you. If you're thinking about coming here and want to have a special trip, it's worth talking to the folks at Red Star. Travel, huh? I hope you'll give me a like if you enjoyed my content. And never forget that you are an amazing human being and you can get wherever you want, okay? See you in the next video.